Hello again, VOTOMS collectors. Today we have a Actic Gear called AGXX01. That's the actual part number in the series. It's made by Takara, Tomy Tech, and celebrating the 25th anniversary of VOTOMS. What's weird though is they never date their products, so I don't know when that 25th year anniversary actually occurred. It might be on the instructions on the inside. I actually have this casting, but what makes this one special is it has all the markings tampo printed on them. The regular VOTOMs don't come with the decals or anything, so you would never get one to look like that. This one's obviously been opened before. Hopefully all the parts are in there. Actually, the whole box is just falling apart because it's pretty old. Oh, actually this thing flips open, I think. Let's see. Yeah, alright. So yeah, it does show you can move, it's an arm punch turn pick, that's what it's called. It's taken me dozens of collecting these things just to realize this is called a turn pick. Alright, I just called it a spike. Oh, the pilot looks like it's painted already, so that's nice. Alright, parachute sack and round mover sack, so you have two different backpacks to put on this walking tank. And then yeah, I'm just looking here again for a date, but it's really strange that companies don't date their products. So you never know how old something is. Yeah, look at that. That's cool. I mean, it's still on the sprue, but somehow they painted this figure while it's on the sprue. I don't know how they do this. Look at that, both sides. It's really impressive. Very, very cool. It's a mystery as to how they do this. Anyways, it's kind of like a half model kit. You do have the full, the robot already assembled. But if you want to add all the armor plates and stuff, you're going to have to clip them off the screws and deal with that. So let's just look at this guy here. So yeah, all this stuff is tampo printed. It's not a decal or anything like that. It's literally paint. So that's very nice. You can also see now, this is where it was torn off the sprue. Same with here. So it's kind of like an assembled model kit, which is fine for me. The key thing for me is look how small it is. The thing is tiny and it has so much playability to it. So going through the articulation, this antenna here will pivot. This visor will pivot up and down. This optic thing will slide left and right in the visor. Let's see, or should. Might be a little stuck, but yeah. There, it slid a little bit, right? And then you can rotate the three optics. Or you should be able to. Let's see if it can. Yeah, there you go. Right, so that's a lot of playability. Looks like the head is two pieces, though. And then, yeah, you can look right into the cockpit, or the pilot. You raise it back here, the hinge comes up. You can add and remove the driver. Alright, let's see. And then the shoulder is on a peg. This shoulder armor is pivoting on that lighter green shoulder, and then the light green shoulder pivots on that peg. So you can get full rotation in and out, a little bit of a butterfly effect there. And then this is a swivel joint here for the upper bicep. And we have just a single hinge or pivot there for the forearm. I do find that these armor pieces will come off very easily, so I always end up crazy gluing them in place. See, this is just one tiny pin. So I'm going to take that off on purpose and glue it on later. This is the arm punch function. Yep, see the other one just fell off. I didn't even take it off. It just dropped off. So yeah, you want to glue some stuff on, I think. Then the hands can be swapped out, pulling it out, popping in a new one. But right now you can see, it's a ball peg, so you can get all sorts of twisting and angling. Let's see, it's screwed together. There might be some plugs to cover that up. And then you can see the markings, very nice. Yeah. We got all these armor flaps here. They are pivoting as well, so very cool. And then the torso will rotate, so that's nice. And then the legs, they're on a ball peg there. There's up there you can hopefully see. So you can get a little bit of it in how movement, front and back on the leg. And the bit. If you raise up the armor, we can go to crouch down mode. So move that all the way back. And you gotta pull the leg apart like this, and then it comes forward like that. And you do that on both sides. And this is how the pilot's supposed to get in and out of the machine. Hold on here. I think that's all the way out. Yeah. So imagine this is on the ground now. And then the pilot would crawl up and down the thing to get in and out of this tank. Alright, pop that back in. I never pose them in that fashion, so. But yeah, it's nice to see all these tampo prints. It's really refreshing. So yeah, you got some more here on this knee. That hose is going to come here later. The bottom of the feet, there's maybe there'll be some plates to plug that in, I don't know. But here are those turn spikes. And that comes down. Yeah. And then the bottom of the foot here, we have a hinge up here in the top part. Right? And that's got like an angled peg, ball peg. So you can get it much forward, a little bit back, and then a little bit of side to side here as well. So you can get a pretty decent pose out of something that's like a big blocky walking tank. Alright, let's see what else is in this bag. I apologize, this plastic thing is warped, this base. This is a little cardboard name tag. You can fold this into a triangle and it just tells you what the chassis is. It's ATM09ST. Okay. This is a member card thing. You can go to a website. I've never bothered doing that. I don't care. Here's a little file index card explaining, the stats of it in Japanese, also the story of it in Japanese, and a couple images from the actual cartoon show. Just a little protective cardboard. And then here we might be able to find out how old this is, the instructions. Yeah, it's 2008. I assume February 2008. So, yeah. Pretty straightforward. You got to clip off the parts, and these are all the little bits, and you can pop them on. Armor plates here and there. You got to put the guns together. There's a bazooka as well. There's a crouch down mode I already showed you. Then you got to put the parachute sack backpack together. Holds ammo cans. Fold down with the pack. You can fold the thing down. And this is a space, like jet propulsion backpack, and you can even fold it down with that on as well. So it's really cool. I mean, considering how small this toy is, there's a lot of playability. You'll see here, yeah, there's nice painted details on these things. Again, even though they're on the molding runner, they're already painted. Very cool. Yeah, this armor plate here has some printing on it. Same with these and that. Very neat. The backpack, it doesn't look like there's any extra printing or paint. These are the grips for the weapons. They are painted. The weapon itself has a little gray on there as well. This is the rifle, same thing, a little gray, a little green. The bazooka, we got a little bit of gray for the front end of the bazooka, or maybe that's the rear end, I'm not sure. Extra ammo, no additional paint. And then this is the grab handle for the main body. So I'm going to clip these off, hold on. So here are all the sprues put together, and there seems to be some extra parts as well that I'll show you. So here are all the weapons, but here are the extra parts, which is great because some of these parts are really thin and fragile, like these hooks here on the shoulders here. You know, they're just loose, so if you don't glue them in place, there's a good chance you might lose them if you play with this toy a lot. But there's two other ones, you know, because it was on a different sprue, and I think they're actually a thicker plastic than this. You can see hopefully a difference in size. Alright, it comes with the fists on it, but you have two open hands as well. There you go. And then all the weapons. These weapons have grips with hands, you know, molded on them, and you can swap them out. You see, it's not a complete circle; it's just like a groove. So I end up having 1, 2 extra hands, you know, either left and right. There's also 2 ammo packs. They're different from the ammo packs on these side skirts, but I don't know if these come off because I tried ripping them off. And you can also see there's an opening there. So I'm not really sure why or where these might want to go. I don't think they have anything to do with this particular robot, but maybe they'll be good for something else. I guess you could customize and just glue them on somewhere if you wanted to. Then each of the weapons has a grip without a hand in case you want to just like show it laying on the ground or something like that. The bazooka also has an extra grip without a hand. These wrist plates here, there's a plain one which I put on originally, and then I swapped them out for the wrist armor with the tampo printing. Yeah, sorry, I'm always losing focus. The camera. And then there's 2 extra hooks here for the back. You know, those never fall out. There's like a snap fit though, so it's improbable you'd ever need those again. But here at the knee, you got this hose running from the knee into the back of the knee, and there's an extra one as well. So this is pretty thin. There's a possibility you might break that, so it's nice to have the extra. Alright, so yeah, you can see I put on these back armor plates here, and also there's 2 back plates here. I had to add those. The wrist armor plates, I crazy glued on the elbow thing there. This is that grip that was on that separate sprue on its own. I find you always have to sand those things down because it's such a tight fit, you will snap this if you don't sand them down a little bit. And then you can see here what it looks like with that pilot and the control cockpit. Yeah, so you have to make sure the cockpit controls are fully in, otherwise the lid won't want to close. And then you gotta also make sure the back of the hinge. See, maybe it's not even in. Maybe it's not in all the way. It seems to be. Alright, anyways. Yeah, I have to put some poster putty in there to keep that shut. Something's crooked. This antenna is a bit crooked. I really wish they gave you extras of these. I amazingly have yet to break any of these antennae off. Amazingly. But it's bound to happen. They're just so thin, so fragile. If you ever drop this, they're gonna snap. Alright, so well, that's that guy. Now, I'll show you how to swap out a hand. Here we have the right hand on this main rifle. I don't know if you want to pull sideways or at an angle. I think I usually do it. That thing is really in there though. I don't know. That does not want to come out whatsoever. Maybe if I try this direction. No. Well, that's crazy. I guess with a lot of effort you could get it out. You could use some pliers, but I'm not gonna bother. I have enough scope dogs with that rifle. Let's try to see if I can get this hand out. Wow, that is tight, man. That's crazy. That literally hurt. Look how much it hurt my fingers. They're like molded around to that. Both of these have the wrong hand on it, so I'm gonna swap this handle out. Should be able to pull it out. There you go. So let's grab one of these other ones. Snaps in nicely. This thing has, this little foregrip that can move. Same with the rifle. It has a foregrip that you can move. And now, let's see, pop this in sideways. There we go. So yeah, getting that hand off is difficult, but popping it back in isn't so bad. You notice the green is a little bit different from the green from the robot, but it's not too noticeable with the armor flap down. Alright. Maybe, I don't know why you'd want to do this, but you can. Let's see, I'm going to remove this ammo pack and put that other green one on. Wow, this is a tight fit, man. There's no glue on this. Alright. So, I think this is the same size hole. Yeah. So I guess you could do that. Say it's taking rifle magazines, like bar magazines, instead of this drum. Yeah, maybe I'll do that because I already have this weapon so many times already. Alright, now this side here. This bazooka is quite interesting because the actual ball of the wrist can articulate. That's a first for me. I've never seen that in the Actic Gear before. But I probably only have like only one or two other bazookas in my collection. Oh boy, let's see. Try to rip this out. Ah, I cannot get that out. It's craziness. I'm afraid if I use this, it's just gonna like dent the plastic. I can't even get pliers and tweezers underneath it there. Wait a second. Let's try this. This is a key that I filed down to take wheels off of my car models, like my Hot Wheels, but maybe I can pry this underneath there and distribute the load. There. So, that was really crazy. Alright, let's pop this bazooka hand in there. There you go. Now let's put it on the shoulder. There we go. Alright, so naturally you can just hold it down, but let's see if we can bend this a little bit. Bend that wrist down. So yeah, you can get it to rest on the shoulder or go over the shoulder more. So that's pretty good. That's really cool how they do that. And then you can see it actually has like an optic on it, so you can line up the optic of the robot. So you can line. It's kind of weird to have a robot looking through optics, looking through another optic, but I didn't make up the VOTOMS universe. What I just noticed now is the back side of this armor. Look at that. It even has grooves and hole details. At least these front two plates. The back one doesn't. And the side ones do not either. Just those front ones. Interesting. Alright, so yeah, it can obviously double wield, which is a little weird, but it's a robot. It can do it. Alright, so backpack wise, here's the parachute sack, it's called. I believe in the cartoon maybe a parachute exists up here. But the molding isn't very good. You know, I can see it's very gappy. It's an overly complex design. If you rewind for me, watching me assemble this, there's just too many parts for no reason, in my opinion. But these two side ammo packs you can remove, so that's kind of nice. You can paint them a different color. But this is actually part of this piece up here. Anywho, you can see there's two grooves there, and just pop this in, push it down a little bit, and there you go. That's the ammo pack. And then the whole thing, see, that's not good. It'll hinge so you can do the whole folding leg thing. There's also two holes. I don't know what they're for. There's no part for it. So, yeah, this is unnecessarily complex though. This thing just pops up in here. Yeah, I think I put it in backwards. Yes, I did. Look, it's just falling apart now because there's too many parts. So it might be advisable. You might want to actually just glue this thing together, at least certain parts of it, so it doesn't just fall apart like this. Like there's no reason for this to be separate anymore. And I think you should glue maybe these two parts together and also these two into these, and then you can pivot it better. But anyways, that's the way it's supposed to look. And then I'll pivot the thing down. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll glue that later. Let's take this off though. So now the round mover, or the space backpack kind of thing. There we go. So the tank is on the bottom side. And I think it'd be nice if you painted these thrusters, but I didn't sand most of these parts. I didn't paint anything. I just want to get this video done with. Maybe I'll paint them later, another day. Let me pose these things and get it spinning. Alright, so a couple other Actic Gears. Here's a snow conditions version. And it's got a different backpack entirely. This is a red shoulder custom or something. Maybe some sort of red shoulder version. There's so many versions, I don't know what kind that is exactly. So yeah, there's some variation in the Scopedogs. Takara really went pretty deep, making so many different model kit, well, so many different figures to collect in the Actic Gear line. Bandai has some miniature model kits, and so this is a super mini Scopedog. But if you look at the size of the head and the hands, it seems to be a larger scale. You know, it's taller than the other Scopedogs, but it should really obviously be the same size. But so naturally, it's a bigger scale entirely. But it's so small, it's still, I think it displays okay with these other ones. So I call them 1/48 scale, even because there's no advertised scale on the Bandai ones. Alright, let's get these guys out. So, very cool. If you don't like making custom decals and applying decals to your toys, then it's worth getting this particular 25th anniversary figure. I'm glad I got it. I didn't think it was going to be this good. I didn't think it was going to come with this many weapons and backpacks and all these other little accessories and spare parts and stuff, so I'm really happy. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next VOTOMS video.